Relationship jealousy doesn't always mean that somebody is toxic. It also doesn't always mean that somebody is necessarily insecure. But how you actually handle the jealousy in a relationship or with the person that you're dating can literally determine whether the relationship will thrive or whether it's going to start to rot. So, is jealousy a red flag or is it just being human? Today, we are going to be diving into on Carla Turned On all around jealousy. And we are going to get into whether it is a red flag. What is normal jealousy? When is it an actual problem? And how to manage the jealousy if it comes up. And then, of course, we are going to talk about it, talking about coming in orgasm. That is what taco stands for here. And looking at social media and cheating, what constitutes as cheating? Is it just liking the photos? Is it DMing? Okay, I'm going to stop because first we are going to get all into the jealousy piece. Welcome to Carla Turned On, where dating and relationships get real, sex gets talked about, and the BS gets left on red. Let's get turned on. Have you ever been jealous in a relationship? Honestly, that is a normal human emotion, just like feeling sad, just like feeling happy. Or maybe it wasn't even a relationship. Maybe you felt jealous with the person that you were dating and you were kind of feeling like, oh man, like she's got all these guy friends. Does that mean that she'd still be interested in me? Or maybe as a woman, you're dating a guy and you're like, oh man, he's got a really good girlfriend. I feel a little intimidated and jealous by that. Those are normal feelings. It's not necessarily about the emotion because I don't want to diminish feelings. Okay. I'm a coach here, so I always look at feelings. Like every time I have clients and they're struggling with emotion, I'm like, pull out a feelings wheel. Yes, you should pull out a feelings wheel too. And side note, if anybody is interested in working together, I offer one-on-one coaching, ask me anythings. I have a dating app guide, a sex guide every dater should need called No Filter. I have lots of stuff. Or if you're enjoying the podcast, please, 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 please give us a rating. Go ahead and review it. I love love. So if you want to give us some love, please give us some love over at Carla Turned On. All right. I know I'm digressing. Oh, and you can find everything in the show notes or carlaromo.com. Okay. I know. So here's the thing is that I have clients pull out these feelings wheels and I'm like, okay, identify the feeling. It's literally a wheel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're like, what is she going on about? It is a wheel. Okay. It's a circle that looks like a wheel and it's got little segments. Each segment has its own individual emotion. And when you're feeling your feelings, sometimes it's good just to open up that feelings wheel, select that emotion and be like, yeah, I'm feeling that. And then to write about it. So I have clients do that all the time. It's something that you could do right now. If you're like, I'm listening to this podcast episode, I'm feeling jealous as hell. I feel really insecure. I don't know what to do. Bah. Okay. We are going to break down exactly what jealousy looks like because I don't want you to feel crazy because it is a normal emotion. I also am going to talk about when it starts to become a problem, like when jealousy starts to actually be a warning sign, whether you're jealous or you're dating somebody who gets jealous. Number one, look at jealousy as just an emotion. Detach from any judgments or thoughts, which is hard as it's really hard to detach yourself. I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, it's so easy, like snap of the fingers, you're good, you're golden. No, it is difficult when you're feeling jealous because there's a lot of emotion and it can bring up a lot of insecurity or just thoughts in general and it can start to make you feel funny, right? But just look at it as it's just an emotion. There is no judgment. It doesn't mean that you are this insecure person who's never going to make it work in relationships, or it doesn't mean that your partner is going to leave you because they're jealous or they're going to cheat on you if they bring it up. Okay, it's just an emotion. Like I said, that damn feeling wheel, it is everything, okay? So looking at jealousy as just an emotion, detaching yourself from what the emotion would mean is going to be key here. Usually it signals fear because you're fearing that you're going to lose somebody. You're fearing that this person's going to walk out on you, or you're fearing that, oh my God, if my partner's jealous, they might break up with me, or they might go cheat, or they might go find somebody else, right? All of those things are normal. I always like to say the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. So yeah, if your partner is jealous and then is like, fuck that, I'm going to go cheat, whether it's a woman or a man, doesn't matter. And they're like, bye. Okay, that's a threat, right? Like that's not false evidence appearing real. But if the emotions are just kind of coming on to either person and then all of a sudden the thoughts start to go into that fear-based thinking, just remember it's just false evidence appearing real. The fear doesn't mean it's real. It doesn't mean it's happening right now. The other thing too, it brings up insecurity. We all have insecurities. It is a very normal human response, right? We are human beings. We feel insecure about things. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have low self-esteem as a person. It just brought up a feeling of not feeling secure. And that is okay. Just a feeling again. And then, of course, it brings up comparison. Am I as jacked as the other dudes? Am I as pretty as this woman? Am I as, like, all the things, right? Like, that you could look at and compare yourself to other people. And then you might start picking apart yourself, which then loops back into that insecurity, which loops back into that fear because you're afraid what? You have some kind of fear-based thinking going on around that. But what is important is to anchor into the emotion and not let the emotion anchor into you. So, what I mean by that is being able to stay grounded, being able to recognize, okay, I feel jealous right now. There's no judgment. It's just how I feel in this moment. And then being able to anchor into, what do I do with this, right? What do I do with this feeling? Okay, there's not really anything to do except to feel it right now and not acting on it. Okay. Okay. Because number 2 is healthy jealousy. Like I said, we are anchoring into the idea that jealousy is a normal feeling. It is a normal emotion. Healthy jealousy is what you do with it. That is going to differentiate between unhealthy jealousy and healthy jealousy. And that looks like your partner being vulnerable with you. Okay, we're going to go from both directions. So, you being vulnerable with your partner or your partner being vulnerable with you. When you are jealous and maybe, I don't know, maybe there's somebody that they follow on social media. Ooh, we're going to be talking about social media in just a moment here. It's going to be really good in the taco section. Okay, maybe they follow somebody on social media and you're like, oh, she's really pretty. Okay, you're a woman. Okay, I'm using a woman as an example. Guys, we can reverse it. She follows this guy and he's good looking. He's really ripped and he's an attractive dude. Okay. Either or. Okay. Your partner is following this person or the person that you're dating is, and you start to think to yourself, damn, the jealousy, it hits. It's like a little gut punch. You're like, oh, okay, I feel that. And then at that point, instead of ignoring it, you go to your partner and you're vulnerable. Hey, I just want to talk with you. I'm recognizing you own your feelings, okay? I'm recognizing that I'm feeling a little jealous. I noticed that you follow this person on social media and I'm just curious, like, is there anything like I should know about them or what's your relationship with them? I'm just feeling a little insecure. Boom. That's healthy. That's healthy AF. Okay. Being able to go to your partner and have the conversation is healthy. If anybody is sitting there telling you, oh, ignore it, don't talk about it, or stalk the person and find out yourself. No, like you want to be able to talk to this person that you're dating or in a relationship with. You want to be able to have open communication and vulnerability because when you have vulnerability, when you have open communication, you're connecting now with this person. Like that is healthy. And it is important in relationships. Yes, it is important in all relationships to share how you're feeling. Now, every single time you feel jealous, do you have to bring it up? No. But if it's something that is on your mind and that you want to express to your partner, that is healthy. If you find yourself obsessing over it or constantly thinking about it or needing to go talk to all your friends about it, that is a problem. Or if you find yourself down the Reddit rabbit hole and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do you do? How do you approach, that they follow this person or whatever? It's like, no, just go talk to them about it. And the green flag in this is your partner reassuring you. We're going to talk about unhealthy jealousy in a moment, but your partner reassuring you and having an open conversation, even saying something under the lines or you saying something under the lines of, I'm an open book. Let's talk about it. I'm totally open. There's no secrets between us. What are you feeling jealous about? What can I do to make you feel more secure? Is there anything I can do? Those are all green flags. And I understand not every relationship works or operates perfectly this way. And if you've come from a past of having a really controlling, jealous partner or feeling super jealous because the partner was violating boundaries, this can be very vulnerable and extremely hard to have these healthy conversations because you might have experienced trauma, relational trauma, in trying to have these conversations in the past and you felt shut down or you felt your needs didn't matter. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Hey, real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want dating support, don't forget to look in the notes below where you can learn all about my guides and how to work with me. And if you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me anywhere at I am Carla Romo. let's get turned on. If you have that in past relationships and you're in a newer relationship and you're trying this out and the person reacts like that past partner, that's a red flag for you to note. Like, this might not be a healthy relationship to be in. Like, I need to look out for myself and my needs. So instead of avoiding the conversation to avoid conflict, lean into the conversation to get into vulnerability and connection, because that is going to be key here when you're talking about jealousy. Now, number 3, unhealthy jealousy. Okay, this is the territory that most people probably find themselves in because it can feel very confusing. It can trigger old wounds. It can create relational trauma, like I was just talking about. It is not fun when you are in a position of either being the one receiving the unhealthy jealousy or you are the one giving the unhealthy jealousy. And maybe for yourself, you're trying to work on yourself. You're here, you're listening to Carla Turned On because you're like, I know I'm jealous. I want to do better. How do I get out of my head this way? What do I do? We'll talk about what to do in a little bit. But for right now, when we're looking at the unhealthy jealousy, we're talking about accusations. This is not vulnerability like we set up in the healthy part. And the reason I did healthy jealousy before unhealthy jealousy is so that you can recognize, oh, this is the idea. Like, you're supposed to go at something to have a conversation. I always say conflict is essential in relationships. It moves relationships forward. However, when you do not have healthy repair in conflict, you're going to have unhealthy communication. You're going to have unhealthy aspects around jealousy in your relationship. It's just going to happen. So this is what it looks like. Accusations, your partner saying to you or the person you're dating is, oh, you were out late last night. Were you with that friend again? Right? Or dropping that person's name randomly to kind of like use that as control to kind of see and manipulate. Like, oh, I noticed Cassie was out last night in the stories. You didn't mention her. Versus just having a upfront conversation, right? So you're kind of creating these passive aggressive accusations. You're trying to control the situation through manipulation. You're trying to goat somebody to be able to then say, oh, yeah, well, it was nothing. And then all of a sudden the person has to defend themselves. If anybody on receiving end has to feel like they are defending themselves, then the person coming at them might be coming from an accusation standpoint. Now, this is different than you trying the healthy approach with your partner, okay? And you saying, hey, can we talk about something? I'm feeling a little insecure. Your partner's like, yeah, of course, we can talk about anything. That's a healthy thing. But if your partner's like, sure, okay. And you start sharing with your partner, and then they're like, gosh, man, like you always make such a big deal out of everything. Or, oh my gosh, I already told you, like he's just my friend. It doesn't matter. Like, leave me alone. Like, you're just being controlling. That is unhealthy reaction, okay? And then, of course, you're going to feel defensive. And that person's getting defensive because there is something deeper going on within themselves that they're not disclosing with you. Or, no, we're going to leave it at that. And that can look like an array of things. It doesn't actually mean they're cheating. Maybe in past relationships, they're triggered in that moment because I don't know, there was jealousy in their past relationships and they experienced a lot of trauma around it and their partner accusing them. So they have this quick, reaction mode. But here's the thing, it's not an excuse. That is unhealthy way to deal with jealousy. Okay. So it doesn't just look like you feeling jealous and then having a conversation with your partner and then being like, oh, it's okay. It can look like you feeling jealous and having a conversation with your partner and it not being receptive. Unhealthy jealousy also looks like monitoring. So, yes, opening up somebody's phone and looking through their text messages without their consent, or watching what they're looking at on social media, or reading through different emails. I mean, this is all really unhealthy behavior. You need consent from somebody before going into their space. I also understand that sometimes people are lying and you're feeling jealous, but I would look at these as two different things for right now and what I'm describing. If your gut feels off, like this person's cheating on me and they're hiding and they're being secretive, that's a problem. But if the person, you're in a secure relationship and you don't have any big inkling, but you're feeling insecure yourself or your partner, like you're not cheating, you're not doing anything, you're being very respectful of each other's boundaries in the relationship, you're not breaking any trust, and the person starts to monitor you, that is very unhealthy way to deal with jealousy. They are now taking it out on you. They're trying to control the situation. They're not being upfront and truthful with you. That is an unhealthy behavior around the jealousy. Like I said, the emotion is healthy, right? We just talked about that. It is normal to have the emotion. It is healthy to have the emotion. It is what you do with the emotion. That is what is the game changer here. And then this one is a pretty big red flag around jealousy, which is isolating you or making you shrink your world to fit their needs. So now this has just become a form of control. And this is actually a really big pattern in abusive relationships. This can be any type of abuse, but this comes out because the person is now isolating them. So they get jealous of them spending time with their friends. It doesn't even have to just be, I don't know, somebody who could be a romantic interest. It could be as simple as you spend so much time with your friends, you never spend time with me, and them getting possessive. And then it makes you start to feel bad. And then they're like, oh, but you said we'd hang out on the weekend. And now, like, we're only hanging out on Saturday and you're hanging out with your friends on Sunday. I want to hang out with you on both days. And you're like, well, I don't know what to do. And they're like, well, if you really loved me, like, come on, like, I want to like hang out with you. It just means I care about you. There is a difference. And I want to put the disclaimer in here of being able to say to your partner, I wish we spent more time together. Is there a way that we can make this work? Because my needs are that we see each other more than every 2 weeks. And you're like, I'd like to at least see like twice a week. We've been dating for 6 months. This is something I really, is important to me. Okay, that's different than starting to use the control around the jealousy piece so that that person then does not feel as quote unquote jealous. The crazy part about that though is the jealousy piece never actually goes away. So they start to do things to minimize the jealousy. And then over time, the jealousy continues to grow because they've never processed it or their insecurities of why they feel jealous in the first place. There's also something called retroactive jealousy. And this is somebody who feels intense jealousy around past sexual partners or past relationship partners. And if you've ever been in a relationship with somebody and they are hard on you about past exes that you've dated, and you're not disclosing anything inappropriate, right? You're not sharing your body count of like, when I slept with her, when I slept with him, like you're not giving graphic details that somebody might be like, hey, boundaries here, like that makes me feel uncomfortable. But maybe you've talked about, well, I have a past. Of course I've dated other people. And they start to use that as a way. Oh, well, I bet you're, oh, was that, Tim? Or, oh, was that Gabriella? Like, oh, yeah, okay, in a sarcastic way. And they start to use your past relationships as a way to sort of put you down. And it's because of a reflection of their jealousy within. Now, this is key. If you feel like you are in these jealous loops, you're like, I don't know how to get out of this, Carla. Like, I feel stuck here. I'm like, oh my goodness. This is so validating because at least it's an emotion, but like I've done some of the things, I've done the monitoring, I've done all these things. Okay. Number one, feelings wheel. I know I'm going to bring that up again. Feelings wheel and journaling. Pick out the feelings that you feel around the jealousy and journal your feelings around it. Okay. Number two, make a list of healthy things and healthy options that you can do to minimize the jealousy. So that could look like meditating on the jealousy, right? I want you to have like a tool list. You meditate on the jealousy or you talk about it with a friend. Hey, I'm feeling jealous about this. Can I just like, and a friend that you trust, a friend who's going to have your back. Okay. But hey, I'm feeling a little jealous. Like, I don't know. Can you just like check me here real quick? Sometimes you have friends that can check you and be like, oh, come on. Like, it's okay. Like everybody feels jealous. That's normal, right? It's something to validate you. Obviously, a healthy thing is to talk to your partner about it. That is number one. Like I would say, go to your partner about it if you're in a place to be able to have a constructive conversation. But doing those things are going to help you get into a place of releasing the jealousy. And number three is don't act on it. Okay. No matter what you want to do, you have impulses or whatever, don't act upon the jealousy. Go back to that number two list. Okay. If you're in a relationship where somebody is controlling you or they're jealous, what you can do is you can sit down and you can try to have a conversation with them if they're receptive to it. Get their buy-in. Ask, hey, I know that we've been talking about the jealousy stuff. Can we have a conversation about this? And if they're like, yeah, and receptive, go in with curiosity. Ask them, are you open to just kind of sharing some of your feelings about this? And what kind of prompted this? Is there anything that I've done that has fueled the jealousy feelings? And if not, what can I do to support you? What is it that we can do to work together so you can feel more secure in a relationship? That is going to be key. However, I'm going to be honest with you, and this goes into the unhealthy part of jealousy. And the truth is, sometimes you have partners who aren't healthy in regards to their emotional maturity of having these conversations or their readiness to work with a coach like myself around their dating and relationship jealousy struggles. That's really hard because there's nothing that you can do to fix the situation. What you can do is you can express the concern. You can have boundaries for yourself. Hey, you crossed the line. I don't feel comfortable with you looking at my emails. I don't feel comfortable with you looking through my phone without my consent. Like that's not okay. You can create boundaries to keep yourself safe. But ultimately, it is important to recognize that the way that they're treating you is a reflection of them and the inner work that they need to do and is not a reflection of you or anything that you're doing wrong. So at the end of the day, jealousy is not the issue. It is the behavior that follows the feelings. And now we're going to talk about it, talking about coming in orgasms when it comes to social media and cheating. I know we mentioned a little bit about the social media piece here, but I think it's really important to go into this because I hear about this all the time from clients. I've had many clients feel that they were cheated on through social media. And we're going to see and break down exactly what cheating looks like when it comes to social media. I get that our lives are public. If anybody's a millennial, honestly, it was so nice to be able to have, I was going to say we had no social media. Does AIM count as social media? I feel like it does. And then do you guys remember Zanga? Zanga? It was the like journaling that was like a form of social media, like blogging about like people's feelings. I never had a Zanga. And then it was like MySpace and then like the Facebook started. And I say the Facebook because it used to be okay, anybody who is not a millennial knows you used to literally type in thefacebook.com to sign into Facebook. And then from there, it's like Instagram, and then everything just started popping off. Okay. So we used to know what it felt like to not have the social media days. But now with social media, everything is out there. Everything is out there. Okay. Not just like what you post, but everything is out there. And it's really easy to have access to anybody and anything. And I think a lot of times in relationships, even secure relationships, there needs to be boundaries because that's what keeps relationships safe and feeling secure is to recognize like, hey, if you're DMing your ex, that's a problem with me. Okay, so I want to get into what is normal behavior in social media and then what is cautionary, red flag behavior that would not be healthy in social media. Number one, I'm just going to say this first. You have to define what cheating looks like for you. So I actually want you to take a second. I know the coach in me is really coming out today. I'm giving you guys a lot of nuggets here. I want you to take a moment and I want you to define what cheating looks like through social media. Do it. Okay, great. Now we're going to move forward from that. So everybody's definition is different. Okay, but I am going to talk about what behaviors are healthy and what are unhealthy around it. It is normal to be attracted to other people in a relationship. Yes. I have seen stuff online where people are like, we got married and never looked at anybody else again. Okay, so I'm laughing because you are naturally, as a human being, going to be attracted to other people. It's not necessarily about looking. Like you can look at somebody walking by and be like, that person is attractive, but I'm not going to go talk to them. I'm not going to go find them on social media. I'm not going to go like their posts. I'm not going to go DM them. I'm not going to go do all these things, right? To show that I like them and show that there's interest because I have a partner that I'm respecting. But it is normal to find other people attractive. There is no shame about that. And honestly, it's something you could even talk to your partner or your date about of, hey, I know that we're going to be attracted to other people. We'll find other people attractive in a relationship. What are our boundaries around here when it comes to social media? Okay. So being able to have a conversation like that is healthy and that is normal. It's also normal to like photos. Now, I will say if there's a photo that's graphic and it's sexualized, yes. Okay. That is a pause because you got to think about how would that make your partner feel, right? If you were liking all these photos publicly about somebody that was overly sexual and maybe your partner doesn't care. And that's part of the boundaries that you guys talked about or how you define cheating and had a conversation with them about it or with the person that you're dating. But I also think too, it's normal to follow people on social media. Like that is a normal thing to do. Again, if it's somebody who has an overtly sexual account, that might be a conversation to be had when you're talking with the person you're dating or you're talking to your partner about all these things. Okay. Like it is normal, like I said, to be attracted to people. It is normal to like float photos. It is normal to follow people. That is the crux of social media. So yes, attraction online is one of the most human things that you can do. Now, I will say this is where the sticky territory gets played out here. Somebody being secretive. I don't care what this looks like. Secrets are secrets. So this could be anywhere from DMs. So secretly DMing people while you're exclusive with somebody and trying to get with them, or you're married to somebody and you're DMing somebody without your partner knowing. Like that is breach of trust in a relationship. And that's crossing relationship boundaries. This also can look like your partner asking you to unfollow somebody because it makes them feel uncomfortable and you had a conversation around it and you agreed to it and you're secretly following them. That's not cool, right? Like you should not have secrets because secrets are toxic as hell for relationships. Another thing too is flirty messages. don't send flirty messages. If you are in a relationship with somebody, that's not okay. Or if the person that you're in a relationship with is sending somebody else flirty messages, that is a hard stop. Like that is a problem. You no longer, like I said, it is normal to be attracted to somebody else, but it's what you do with it. Again, it's back to those behaviors. And for some people, they look at that as emotional cheating. It doesn't have to necessarily be physical cheating. And this is why I said, what does cheating look like for social media with you? Because everybody has different definitions. And then this is a really big one, which is lying about interactions. I've had many clients have partners or people they were dating lying about the interactions that they were having on social media. Again, this can go anywhere from DMing, messaging on their reels, like a little something that's like flirty, right? And their partner doesn't really realize that that's what's going on. That's not okay. Where this is coming from, right? There's a deeper insecurity. There's a lack of trust. It's not a reflection of the person you're in a relationship with. Okay. So when we're talking about cheating, it's never about the partner. The person who's cheating, it's about them. It's never about the other partner. Okay. So the person who's cheating is doing it, and we don't know why. I'm not going to sit here on Carla Turned On and figure it out for you, but this is a bigger problem. When they start hiding things and they're being secretive or they're DMing and they're sending flirty texts or messages or they're signing up for certain accounts that you said you weren't comfortable with them doing. And they're like, well, I'm not going to meet the person. I don't know them, right? That's a problem. Or if they're reaching out to exes or people they've dated or hooked up before, somebody new that they found attractive and drop into their DMs, like that is a problem. Like that is not okay. And those are red flag behavior. So at the end of the day, you have to define what cheating looks like for you with social media. But if you have to hide it or your partner has to hide it, it is not harmless. And if anything, it's ruining your relationships. Social media doesn't create cheating. Secrecy does. Loved this episode? Rate it 5 stars, hit that subscribe button, baby, and leave a review. Do you want to work with me? Grab my dating courses, apply for my coaching at carlaromo.com or find it all in the show notes, and give me a little follow at I am Carla Romo on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Catch you next time and stay tuned. Carla Turned On is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a substitute for therapy. For professional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider.